A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Today we are going to study a short poem, What is Happening Today, from Vision 6. The 4 lines that you see on the screen form the first stanza of a poem. So the 4 lines of a poem is called a stanza. So this is the first stanza of the poem. In Urdu we call it band. And 2 lines of a poem that mostly they rhyme, they are called couplets. Okay? And in Urdu we call them sher. So this is the first stanza of the poem, What is Happening Today. The earth's surface is made up of many plates which cover the hot material underneath. Plates bordered by lines called faults. Their movements cause tremors under our feet. Now in this particular stanza, the poetess is saying that the earth's surface has many plates. So underneath the earth's surface there are many plates, and we have already studied that these plates are called tectonic plates. So there are tectonic plates under the surface of the earth, and below that there is a very hot material, and what is it? It's called magma. So there are many plates under the surface of the earth called tectonic plates, and below the tectonic plates there is magma, which is a very hot material. Plates bordered by lines called faults. Now where these plates meet each other, at the edges of one plate, there is the edge of the other plate. So these lines or these meeting points are called fault lines. Plates bordered by lines called faults. Their movements cause tremors under our feet, and when they collide each other or they slide against each other, these plates, they cause the earth to shake, and that is what an earthquake is. Let's move to the second stanza. The Richter scale measures the force with which the plates collide. The resultant effect on earth makes you want to run and hide. So how can we measure the force with which these plates collide each other? We can measure with the help of Richter scale. So the force of their collision can be measured with the help of Richter scale, and the effect that these collisions cause on earth makes everyone frightened, and everyone wants to run away and hide somewhere in a safe place. The Richter scale measures the force with which the plates collide. The resultant effect on earth makes you want to run and hide. Let's move to the next stanza. The tremendous shaking of the ground, everything rocking to and fro, collapsing roofs, upturned trees, no place safe to turn and hide. So what happens when the earthquake comes? The ground shakes tremendously. There is a lot of shaking of the ground, and everything rocks from one side to the other. They are rocking to and fro. And the roofs of the houses and the buildings, they collapse. And trees are upturned, they are uprooted, they fall down. And there is no place that is safe, and no one can run anywhere when the earthquake comes. The tremendous shaking of the ground, everything rocking to and fro, collapsing roofs, upturned trees, no place safe to turn and go. People crying in the rubble, People crying in the rubble, scratched, bruised, broken, and in pain, surrounded by a litter of tiles and bricks, wood, shards of glass, and sandy grains. So when this happens, when the earthquake comes, people are affected by the earthquake, and they cry in the middle of rubble or debris. So waste heap, which is created due to the collapse of buildings, people are crying amidst the debris. Because they are scratched, because they have bruises, because they have broken bones, and they are in pain, and that is why they are crying. And all around them, what is there all around them? What are they surrounded with? They are surrounded with litter of tiles and bricks, because the buildings have collapsed and there are broken pieces of bricks and tiles lying all around them. There is wood all around them, and there are shards of glass, broken pieces of glass, and sandy grains of cement and other broken items. So they are surrounded by a litter of tiles and bricks and wood and shards of glass and sandy grains. People crying in the rubble, scratched, bruised, broken, and in pain, surrounded by a litter of tiles and bricks, wood, shards of glass, and sandy grains. Injuries and life-scarring wounds, havoc reigns over the land. What also of the lives that are lost, buried under mounds of sand? So everyone is injured and they have wounds, and some of these wounds and injuries will last all their lives, will affect and change their life standards. Probably some people will get a limp, or some people will have an amputated limb. So they will have effects on their body, on their life forever. So there will be life-scarring wounds. And havoc, disaster, and destruction is ruling the land. So havoc has taken control over the land. So there is everywhere disaster. The disaster is ruling the land. What also of the lives that are lost, buried under mounds of sand? And what can we say about the lost lives? We have no words to mention the lives that are lost because they are buried under mounds, under small hills, under the waste heaps of broken sand. And the sand is not actually broken. The things that have broken, they have created that sand. So they are all buried. People are buried under the sand and they are dead. Injuries and life-scarring wounds. Havoc reigns over the land. What also of the lives that are lost, buried under mounds of sand? O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please protect us all from your wrath and ire. Save us from such calamities of this world and from the hellfire. In the last stanza, the poetess is praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she's saying that please protect us from your anger. Wrath and ire, both of these words mean anger. And two words have been used together meaning the same thing. It means that the strength and extremity of anger is a lot. Wrath and ire already mean that extreme anger. And now they are used together to emphasize that Allah is really, really very angry, and that is why Allah has caused this destruction on the earth. So the poetess is saying that please protect us from your anger, save us from such calamities that are caused on earth due to your wrath. Please protect us from these calamities, the flood, the earthquake, and whatever calamity comes of this world, the calamities that will occur in this world, and from hellfire. And the final destination that can be, if we keep doing sins, will be hellfire. So protect us from that too. So this is her prayer, and this is how the poem ends. Now we will discuss three poetic devices. Now the first one is alliteration. Words used close by beginning with the same letter. So they have the same beginning sound. Fantastic fun folio. Bring the bat I bought for you. In the first example, we have the repetition of the sound f, f. Fantastic fun folio. Bring, bat, and bought. They all begin with b sound. So alliteration is when we begin the words with the same letter. We have the same beginning sound. The second poetic device is rhyme, which you are all very familiar with. Words having the same ending sound. Bring, ring, firing. So ring, ring, ring is repeated. Lock, flock, block. So lock, lock, lock is repeated. So the ending sound is the same when we have rhyme. Assonance, words having the same vowel sound. When we have the same vowel sound, it is called assonance. Main, pain, cake, rate. So A sound is repeated in all these 4 words. So these are 3 poetic devices. Alliteration having the same beginning sound. Assonance having the same vowel sound. And rhyme having the same ending sound. These are only 3 of the many other poetic devices, and poets use these devices to give rhythm to the poem. Now you should go over the poem once again and try to identify the use of these 3 in the poem that we have studied. Jazakallah, that's all for today.